Hi, everyone. In 2010, I hung up the pinstripes and I put on the Dodger blue. My 11-year career as a Yankee fan culminated in finally seeing my favorite player, Alex Rodriguez, win a championship in 2009. I stand before you today at another crossroads in my fandom's career. The last 12 years in LA have been great, some of the best in my career. I feel I've really grown up here. It's been a lot of ups and downs, happy moments, humbling experiences. I watched my favorite player of the last decade both struggle and succeed at the highest level possible. And again, it's culminated in a championship. Maybe it's something about finally getting that ring, but I think it might be time to move on. I'll now take any questions from the press.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Kirsch?
Yes.
So, your favorite player that you mentioned in your speech, Clayton Kershaw, he is currently a free agent. Used to be a Dodger, and that's where I believe your Dodger fandom started. Will you be returning to the Dodgers even if he doesn't sign?
You know, Matt, thank you for reporting on this today. I don't know, and that's a lot of the reason I'm calling this meeting. I've started to look elsewhere. There's reports he could sign with Texas and reports he could retire as well as returning. And in either of those situations, I need to be ready to know where I'm going to take myself.
Follow-up question.
Sure.
And so if he does retire, what are the teams that are available to you? I have a list here that you had leaked out prior to this meeting.
Sure.
Do you want me to read the list or because I have here Dodgers, Rangers. To tell me a little bit about what's going through your mind.
So we're down to 5 teams that even have a chance regardless of the situation. And it is the 2 aforementioned teams you said, as well as the Blue Jays, Mariners, and Yankees. There is a possibility that I do return to New York. I want that to be known. Yes.
So it says here that you stopped being a really good Yankee fan after A-Rod left. What would make you want to come back to the Yankees?
Sure. So growing up, again, the first 11 years of my career, I was a Yankees fan. I don't know if it was so much as A-Rod left, but we won that championship. And after that, it just seemed like, Clayton came out and I just got, completely immersed in him. And he swept me away slowly but surely over time. And the Yankee system, it was buying players, and the Dodger way was cultivating and bringing up players, which has now changed, as you've seen. Pretty similar storylines, 10 years of bringing up players, and then all of a sudden we're buying players. So it's kind of driven me out. Why I would come back? Listen, it's that hometown feel. I'm a New Yorker through and through. That'll never leave me. And I think coming back home could be what I need right now in this troubling time. Sure.
We have heard a lot of your dislike for the Yankees farm system on a lot of recent episodes of the 10th inning. With their development of some young new talent, would any of that, would you like to see any of that come into the Yankees in the next few years, or would you like to watch them go out and spend? Would that be the Yankees that you know and love, or what would get you back to the Yankees?
So listen, I'll be honest. I do think they're in 5th place right now as far as these teams. I don't want to, get you guys all excited out of no reason. But I'll be blunt with you guys. I'll lay out exactly what it would take for me to come back home to New York. The first thing would be if they sign Clayton Kershaw. If the Yankees sign Clayton Kershaw, I take off the Dodger blue, I put back on the pinstripes. The only other way it would happen is if these 3 things happened. They removed a minimum of 1 Joey Gallo or Gary Sanchez from the roster. Has to be at least one of them, if not both. They trade for Didi Gregorius, and Kershaw retires.
So another team reported was the Mariners. Clayton Kershaw is not looking to go to the Mariners, but you do seem to have them high on the list if the Yankees are 5th. What would you say brought you to the Mariners as one of your choices?
Of course, I think they are the dark horse in this race right now. I actually think they have a slight advantage over Texas, who is almost a favorite to sign him. Um, the Mariners are a fun team. They're a sneaky team. They haven't they haven't won and been to the playoffs in 21 years, and that's something. It's clear from my moves in the past. Once we win that championship, I'm ready to move on. I like rebuilding, building with the team, and then finally winning. I don't like just going to a dynasty of success. That it gets boring after a while. And the Mariners have such great young talent like Kelnick and Julio Rodriguez that I've really attached myself through with my own, dynasty team that I think could really, I could grow with. Just to be blunt and lay out how they could do it. One, they would have to sign Clayton Kershaw. Obviously, they have no indication of doing that. If they don't do that, they would have to start Julio Rodriguez and Jared Kelnick opening day. Two, they would have to have extremely encouraging springs, or they would have to sign or trade for another exciting piece, and then Kelnick and Julio could have okay springs. And three, Kershaw would have to retire. So in most of the other situations, if I'm moving from the Dodgers, Kershaw would have to retire.
All right, I have one more question here. Sure. We haven't talked much about this team, the Blue Jays.
Okay.
A team that is currently a rival to your used to be Yankee fandom. What brings you them? Is it a similar sort of Mariners type newness and young talent?
Yeah, I think you hit it on the head there. They are exciting as you can get, and a lot of their talent is already up and in that all-star / MVP type category with Vladdy and Bo. And Yips obviously is a fan favorite for me. I'm a huge guy for Alejandro Kirk. So again, they would either have to sign Clayton, and if Clayton retires, if Ryu has a good spring, I'd like to see Ryu come back good. Yips has a decent spring, and Alejandro Kirk is named the clearing away starting catcher over Danny Jansen. I think they have a really good shot to become my favorite team. I also think they could sign or trade one more fun piece. I have a lot of fun players, but I don't like Grichuk in the outfield, and I don't like the third base hole they have now with Simeon leaving and Cavan moving back to second. Sure. Yeah, go ahead.
Are you ready to announce your new team fandom? When should we expect you to commit?
I think you'll know based on what I've said today. You'll know when the world kind of knows, in a sense, when Clayton makes his decision. The only team we haven't spoke about today is the Rangers specifically, and they really what they have to do is sign Clayton Kershaw. I love Corey. Everyone knows that, but the rest of their team is, it's okay. The colors are great. I played for the Rangers growing up, but they would have to make a couple really exciting trades and acquisitions. We're talking Freddie Freeman and some other players for me to get in to Texas with Clayton retiring. I think is a better shot you see me in Toronto or Seattle. But if the Rangers sign Clayton, I do think that's going to be a done deal, and I'll be going to Texas.
All right, King Kirsch, thank you for your time today.
Of course, I appreciate you guys being here. We'll call another presser when Clayton signs.